Hey guys, I'm here with my friend Steve Campbell. Steve, I met you in Dallas, Texas in 2021, I think. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When, yes, we had a Wise Traditions conference in Dallas, Texas, Allen, technically. But Steve has become a friend, someone I always look forward to seeing at various events. And here we are at Acres USA, and Steve is here. Steve, first, a little bit about your background.
I grew up around cattle. We used to haul cattle. I moved up to the ranch, if you will, in 1988, and so then instead of hauling them, I was raising them. Got into grass finishing 23 years ago and did that for 20 years. I quit 3 years ago because of the rest of the story, which is I started consulting about 15, 16 years ago about cattle. 4 out of 5 places I went wanted to know how to raise grass-finished beef. Today that's kind of morphed into commercial cattlemen looking for an animal that is more fertile and easier keeping. Well, it takes a lot of butter fat for that to happen. Well, when you start breeding cattle that way, you naturally get offspring that are better at grass finishing. And then I started selling vinegar for Golden Valley Vinegar in Idaho. They've started bottling their own and calling it Fairchild. And I sell that for livestock vinegar.
And what is special about that vinegar?
Roger Fairchild has been working with apples one way or another. I think he said for 49 years. Anyway, he started making apple cider vinegar 25, 6, 7 years ago. And he only uses the whole apple. And so you get so many more enzymes. All vinegar, to make vinegar, you need hard apple cider. It's got 6% alcohol, maybe more. And it takes acetobacter, or mother, to convert the alcohol into vinegar. So people walk up and say, well, does your vinegar have the mother? If you have unpasteurized apple cider vinegar, it has the mother.
It has the mother, yeah.
What Roger's product has, Roger Fairchild, is the enzymes from the whole apple. Nothing, well, they handle those enzymes with kid gloves all the way through the process. And so there's more mother, but there's way more enzymes than those who use apple juice or apple juice concentrate.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And 2 things about it. One is that I think we need the whole apple anyway. We should be eating the seeds of the fruit, not tossing them. There are nutrients and minerals in those that work synergistically with everything else. It's a package. I always say God gave us a whole package. We shouldn't be deconstructing it. So it's also good for that reason. But the other thing, this has not been watered down.
Yes, so about 21 or 22 years ago, Roger Fairchild and Patricia Bragg found each other. And the very first time Roger sold vinegar, the first year, to Bragg, he sold 100,000 gallons. Well, then the demand for Bragg vinegar went up and up and up. And the last year, 16 years later, the last year that Patricia still owned the company, he sold her 4.5 million gallons. Well, the new owners
That's astounding.
The new owners went with a different supplier, so Roger started putting what you used to be able to find in the Bragg bottle in a bottle with his own name, and he doesn't water it down to 5%. When he was supplying Bragg, he would send his vinegar down there in a semi, a tanker at 6% or more, and they would water it down to 5% because that's what everybody does. Well, trying to distinguish his product above anyone else's, he doesn't water it down. So it's 6.3% or more acetic acid.
And that is really important because
Alkaline mammals. I sell a lot to livestock producers, but alkaline mammals, we're mammals.
Yeah.
If we're alkaline, we tend to resist disease. If we're acid, why do we get acid? Too many of the neighbor's toxins, not enough minerals in our food. I mean, you think Weston Price, the common denominator to those 15 groups of people, where they were getting 5 to 10 times the vitamins and minerals the average American was getting in the 30s. We don't get half of that today.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things that can help us. If we're alkaline, we digest more of the vitamins and minerals that we ingest out of our food.
That's really important. I was struck when I first met you about the difference, and I've only been using Fairchilds ever since that day. I've shared with friends, I've shared with farmers, I've shared with the farmers market, and with restaurants as well. But it is all I use, and in my cooking and just our practices within our home for health and wellness, I use that. It's good as a detoxifier mixed with water. It's what I make my salad dressings with, and sometimes my mayonnaise too. I tend to use lemon juice and brine from pickles and such as well. But I also use that in all of my stocks and broths. So I just kind of use it across the board, and I use it in my animal waterer. So right now I only have chickens. I'm thankful I have chickens, but I put a little of the apple cider vinegar in their water as well.
Which works? Chickens, sheep, goats, pigs, cattle. I sell mostly cattle. I think about the first time I ever fed it to pigs, I just put it out straight, and this first pig went over there and took a slurp, and then it just came right back out both nostrils.
Undiluted, just straight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back into the deal. I laughed more at those pigs than any other animals I ever raised.
But animals are smart. They know what they need. I tell stories. I'm not going to tell stories right now, but I've seen very clearly that they know what they need, and that pig was drawn to that for a reason. So that's really cool. Well, I wanted you to meet Steve and to learn about the vinegar. We do have a link on our resource page for Fairchild's vinegar. So now you know a little bit more about it and why it's good, and maybe you'll see Steve out and about sometime. And yeah, say hello if you do. If you come to any of these events, you're likely to see him.
Merry Christmas and God bless you all.
Yep. Bye-bye, everyone.